Greetings, everybody, and I would like to welcome you today to our 21 South Kickoff, the first kickoff for the new district. I am Lion Brian Wallish, and I am your organizer today. Before we start, I'm going to take you through a very quick organizational lesson on your controls. A little housekeeping. All of you have the following controls in front of you. I want you to pay attention to is number 2 is your mute button. Number 4, you click that to raise your hand. Once you've raised your hand, such as what Marion has, then I can acknowledge you and lower your hand. So that one raises your hand. Number 5 is where your handouts are, and there is a handout packet today. So if you click the handout down arrow, it'll open up, and there's a packet you can download that has the agenda and everything else in it, including this copy of these directions. And number 6 here is where you put your questions if you want to set a written question. Number 7 is where you actually enter the question and hit enter, and it will come to us. And if you want your controls out of the way, number 1 will get your controls out of the way. And it looks like we are starting the morning here with Marion. Before I can give this back to Keith, Marion is apparently having a question. So Marion, I need you to unmute yourself. What is your question, Marion? I've unmuted you. Oh, no questions. Okay, that's great. So if you have questions like that, I will acknowledge you and I will unmute you. You don't need to mute yourselves. So that covers our controls. And without any further ado, I'm going to give this to our esteemed district governor, the governor of the new 21 South, a very good person and a outstanding Lion. He's already coming up. He's not even giving me a chance to get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, our governor, Keith Alexander.
Thank you very much. Thank you for doing this.
All yours.
Well, I forgot my cape, but thank you for doing that, Brian. Thank you for getting this set up today. Welcome all of you. I appreciate you all being here today for our very first ever 21S cabinet meeting and kickoff. We'll get right to it. We've asked our most recent past international director, Alan Lundgren, to start us out today with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you're ready, we'd like to ask you to do that, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Past International Director Alan. Without objection, we'll adopt the agenda that's already been sent out. You'll see that our next item is our protocol, which we normally do. It's going to be a little different today because we can't see it in person. We don't know exactly who's here. And so I hope that nobody will be offended, and you'll forgive me for simply saying we welcome all our past international directors who may be on here. We welcome our past district governors. We welcome the other members of the cabinet, visiting cabinets from other places, as well as all club officers and Lions here with us today. We're glad that you're here, and I would invite you all to get your favorite beverage within hand and join me in our International Lions toast. Not above you, not below you, but beside you. And with that, we'll let Brian have a moment here. He's doing some special presentations, which we appreciate very much, Brian.
You're muted, Brian.
Here we go. I have two welcomes I would like to share with you all today. First of all, one of them I received from Lions International President Choi, which I'm going to share with you.
Dear Lions and Leos, ours is one of the most unique organizations on earth and one of the most important in ordinary times and in times of great need. We are called upon to serve by our communities and by the world. That's because we bring kindness to those we serve. And our incredible diversity helps us serve in so many ways and in so many places. We are 1.4 million men and women in more than 48,000 clubs. We don't just serve the world, we represent it. As much as we are different, we are the same. We are lions. Our service brings us together. There is no limit to what we can achieve when we work together. We can serve our local causes and our global causes. We can unite people in new ways with specialty clubs. We can support our global foundation, LCIF, to empower the service of Lions now and for generations to come. We can find new ways to safely serve our communities. It takes a great organization like ours to take on big challenges. It takes great clubs like yours. It takes you, the most incredible volunteers in the world. Your unique contributions and your kindness are needed now more than ever before. Together, we can strengthen our communities. Together, we can change lives. And together, we can change the world when we are united in kindness and diversity. Thank you for your incredible service.
Lion
It's
Keith, I need
almost
you to
done.
come back for Lion Keith, I need you to come back for one moment, please. Lion Keith, I need you to come back up for a second.
I'm back.
I got something you don't know about. Thanks to Joe Preston, I have this video and another video in a moment, but I've also got something else, especially for you and for the Lions of the district. You'll get a copy of this after we're done today. I received a letter from President Choi that says, Dear Lions, congratulations to you, District Governor Keith Alexander, and the Lions of District 21. Whoop, it's not showing. You should be able to see it. Just a moment. I wanted you to see this letter. In the Lions of District 21 South, as you begin your first year after redistricting, the challenges of this past year have demonstrated your dedication and perseverance to adapt, to innovate, and to serve. And together united as a Lions of District 21 South, your efforts will continue to restore hope and make a real difference in your community. As we look to the future, Lions must continue to lead by example and make the world a better place for everyone. We are united in kindness and diversity, and when we serve together, we all can realize our full potential and achieve a greater good than ever before. Your hard work and dedication have improved the lives of others, and your commitment to service ensures that many more lives will be positively impacted in the years to come. And together, we can change the world. Congratulations and best wishes. Regards, Dr. Jung Yul Choi, International President. And you'll get a copy of this when we're done today. So I wanted you to see that. That was a surprise we put aside for you. So, congratulations.
Thank you
And we're
very
now
much.
gonna,
That's very kind.
and
That's
thank
wonderful
Lion
to
Joe,
have shared. Thank you.
and we can thank Lion Joe Preston for helping us to get this. Now I'm going to show you the second video from Lion International Vice President Brian Sheehan.
Good day. How is everyone in District 21 South? I hope you are all doing well. I'm Second Vice President Brian Sheehan here, all the way from Bird Island, Minnesota, wishing you the best. Lion Lori and I are hoping you are all doing fine under these continued unique circumstances. I wish to give congratulations to District Governor Keith Alexander and the Lion members from District 21 South as you begin your first year after this redistricting. COVID-19 has brought many changes to the way we communicate and operate, but the needs of the world have never been greater. I know that District Governor Keith will do backflips to do everything he can to make this a great district. Here's District Governor Keith doing everything he can to help you all out. And I know that you will do the same. Am I right? Am I right? I know you will. You'll all do backflips as a team, because that's what it's going to take to get things accomplished, a team. I challenge you to continue providing meaningful service to those in need, both locally and globally, and to do it while embracing diversity and kindness. Best wishes to District 21 South. From Lori and I, until we can meet again, which I'm hoping is very soon, I know that you're going to make a great day for many, and that you're going to make a great new multiple District 21 South. Thanks for all you do.
And Lion Keith, back to you, sir.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Vice President Brian. I don't know how we got that footage of me in my bird suit, but I guess that's going to be the highlight of the day. Now we'll go on to our first major action of business today, the installation of our new cabinet for the first cabinet ever of 21 South. If you don't know, there are 2 districts in Arizona, and together we're a council of governors. We've elected the chairman of the council of governors, Barbara Daly, who was a former district governor of our district. There are lots of people who could have asked to do this installation. I asked her because she's been a friend and a mentor of mine for many years and helped me in the things that I've done, the path that I've come along, and I'm honored that she agreed to do that. So with that, I will turn the time over to our present council chair, Barbara Daly.
Thank you, Keith. Well, I didn't know I was going to install a hamster on a wheel today, but we can have fun with this. Welcome to all the attendees as we witness the installation of the first District 21 South cabinet officers for 2020-2021. I was honored to be asked to do the installation of the officers today. Let's review a little bit of Arizona Lions history. We all know that District Governor Keith, in his Canyon State Lion address to the Lions, wrote about the history. I'm just doing a little bit of it. Lions came to Arizona in 1923. In 1950, Arizona became 2 districts, 21A and 21B. In 1964, Arizona became 3 districts, 21A, B, and C. That means that 21B existed for 56 years. Now, Arizona has realigned into 2 great districts, 21 North and 21 South. The Arizona Lions have persevered throughout all of these 97 years because of what we Lions do best. We serve. Pandemic and all, we push to do what needs to be done through many methods. What does 21 South want to be known for? Let's break it down. As you can see on your screen, over on the left-hand side, it shows South, S-O-U-T-H. The S stands for service. The O stands for outstanding. The U stands for uplifting or upbeat. The T stands for talented. The H stands for helpful and hardworking. That brings us to the task at hand, installing the first cabinet officers for 21 South. The cabinet members are as follows, and this can be a little bit different. You know, we don't have people standing up in front of the room, or they can pretend to stand up and I'll say, I see you. We start with the zone chairpersons. Those are extremely important to the cabinet. They are the ones that are closest to the clubs, who are the eyes and the ears for the district governor, because the district governor can't be all places. We have right now zone chairpersons Tom Powers, Jim Perkins, Wendy Green, Marge Legler, Doug Eisman, Pat Hollander, and Dave Webster. We still need 3. So those sitting in the audience out there that want to come and serve with us, because we are a great team, let your governor know. Region chairpersons. Now, this has been put into our districts as great mentors. They're lions who've been around, been through a few things with district and club activities, and are what we consider knowledge experts. We have some great knowledge experts here in the South. We have Jim Sternberg, we have Muriel Stevens, we have Les Davier, and Norm Messier. Those are our 4 region chairpersons. So zone chairs, if you have a problem with anything, can't get a hold of your governor, go to your region chair. They are your knowledge experts. Next, we have the cabinet members. These are all voting members, you know, your zone chairs, your region chairs, your cabinet, which is Cabinet Treasurer Sandy Schiff, Cabinet Secretary Sheila Palazzo, immediate past District Governor Chris Gibbs, Second Vice District Governor Jim Kuhn, First Vice District Governor Richard Hopkins. We also have District Governor Keith Alexander. I know he took the oath of office as governor online with the rest of his team, but we're going to reinstall him here and make him part of the South. I just called out the names of 17 lions to lead and administer the needs of the 1,186 lions in 21 South. Just averaging that out, this means each leader is responsible for 70 members. Now picture it, you're in a room with 70 people. You have responsibility for those people. That's how important your job is. No doubt about it, we need more help. But it doesn't stop here. We have support staff for those just mentioned who are the voting members of the cabinet. These support lines are the glue that keep the membership running by assisting in all areas of running the clubs. They include leadership, Lori Gens, membership, Ed Lopez and co-chair Fernando Shipley, service, Chris Gibbs, foundation coordinators, Bobby Ravenkamp and co-chair Jim Perkins, district administrator, again, Bobby Ravenkamp. We hear some of these names over and over because these are all the worker bees. Also, any committee chairpersons to round out our service. Every person is important. All of you have been assigned tasks and have planned goals to accomplish. No one can do this alone. So the team supports each other in their efforts to do the best and be the best they can be. Do each of you swear to abide by the rules of the Constitution and bylaws of District 21 South and all others? Do you agree that this team will communicate every way possible to ensure that all lions are heard and united in kindness and diversity each and every day that you are part of this team? With this agreement, you are now duly installed as the first cabinet and support staff for District 21 South for the year 2020-2021. Congratulations to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Chair Barbara. We appreciate that very much. And thank all of you for accepting the positions which you've agreed to do. I hope you realize what you've gotten yourself into. It's going to be a lot of work, but I look forward to being with each one of you. I'd like to turn the time over now to our Cabinet Secretary, Cabinet Secretary Sheila, for the roll call of the Cabinet clubs, as well as introduction and consideration of approval of the last Cabinet meeting. Sheila.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Lion Brian, for for the visual there. I appreciate being Annette. So Brian, can you bring up our roll call? Rather than going through and asking for each of the club members to say that they're here, what we're going to do is really do an introduction. So what we're going to do is use the registration from the webinar in order to determine which clubs have been present at this presentation. But for all of us, we have new regions, we have new zone names, so we want to have a chance to really introduce all of them. Our first region is the East region, and our regional chair is PDG Norman Messier. East region is made up of two zones, Copper and Pinal. Thomas Powers is going to be our zone chair for Copper, and it's made up of Globe, the Sammy Joe Service Branch, Morenci, Miami, and Safford. Pinal Zone needs a zone chair. So anyone who is currently a member within Coolidge, Eloy, Florence, Maricopa, and Santan, raise your hand. Let DG Keith know that you're interested in helping serve and help us fill this very important position. Next slide, please. Our metro region. This is Regional Chair PCC Jim Sterenberg. We're made up of the Arizona, Chandler, and Mesa zones. Arizona is being led by Zone Chair David Webster and made up of the ASU campus, Guadalupe, Mesa hosts, Mesa Thunderbird. Chandler Zone is our very experienced Zone Chair, Pat Hollander, who will be having clubs of Chandler, Chandler Sunbird, Gilbert, Sun Lakes, and Sun Lakes Breakfast. Finally, Mesa Zone. Our zone chair is Doug Eisman and is made up of our clubs of Gold Canyon, Mesa Dream Catchers, Mesa Foundation of the Sun, Mesa Leisure World, and Mesa Sunland Springs Village. Welcome to Metro Region. Next slide, please. Our South Region. Our regional chair is Muriel Stevens. I personally happen to know her well, so she will make an exceptional regional chair. It is made up of 3 zones, Cochise, Santa Cruz, and Tucson. The Cochise zone is being led by Zone Chair Marge Legler, and it consists of Benson, Cochise Stronghold, Douglas, Huachuca City, Sierra Vista La Salida del Sol, and Tombstone. Our Santa Cruz zone is led by our new zone chair, Wendy Green. She will have Green Valley La Choya, Nogales, South Tucson, our Cyber Branch Club, Tucson Breakfast, Tucson Downtown, Tucson Rincon, and Tucson Wilmont. And Jim Perkins will be our zone chair for Tucson Zone, Catalina Oro Valley, Marana Host, San Pedro Valley, Tucson North Tucson, and Tanque Verde Valley. That will be our South region. Next slide.
Excuse me, just CS Sheila, we have a correction, I think, from Kathleen Hilger. If I may for a moment, Kathleen, I'm trying to unmute you, but you're self-muted. You're self-muted. I can't bring you up, Kathleen, so please come back to us later. We'll go to the next slide.
I unraised my hand. I was just saying that I'm actually present here. So,
Oh, okay.
Thank you and
Kathleen.
welcome. All right, moving along, we have our West region, and that is Region Chair PDG Les. It is made up of Goldwater and Gila River. As you can see, Les needs some zone chairs here. So please, if you are in any of these clubs and wish to help serve, help us make this a strong new region that we will be part of 21S. The Goldwater zone is made of Ajo, Gila Bend, San Luis, Yuma Quartermaster Evening, and Goodyear. Gila River is made up of Buckeye and Levine. As district secretary, I look forward to visiting many of your clubs, if not in person, then virtually. Please invite your cabinet to attend any of your virtual meetings. We'll be more than happy to really help bring our district together, get to know each other, and as DG Keys will be going through, really our focus is on how can we help your clubs and how can we together help provide service to our communities. So welcome to all the new regions. Moving along to approval of minutes. It has been a while since we've had a cabinet meeting. So therefore, back in the day, November of 2019, we had our cabinet meeting at the Embassy Suites in Mesa. Although the minutes were submitted via email, we did not have a quorum accepting the approval of those minutes. So therefore, I'm raising it again at this cabinet meeting to get official approval for the minutes. As just a quick recap, as I stated, it was noted, we were at the Embassy Suites in Mesa, Arizona. District Governor Chris Gibbs was providing. Immediate past District Governor Ray Clark had provided our pledge. We were led in song. We had our protocol established by DG Chris. And we went through all of our standard minutes and reports. So the reports from not only previous cabinet meeting, but also our financial reports were submitted by Cabinet Secretary Sandy Schiff. They were approved and filed for review. We also received reports on service from all the associated zones. The Region 1 report was given by PDG Bobby Ravenkamp, in which she had also made a focused presentation on the 2020 Day of Service that we then had in January. The Region South report was given by Lion Annabelle Klein. The reports provided also were from the GMT Lion John Hart, GLT Lion Lori Gentz, GST Lion Sulin, CISC, here we go, LCIF PDG Bobby Ravenkamp, Marketing and Communication by Lion Richard Stevenson. DG Chris led a leadership discussion around the establishment of a committee in order to explore the appropriate use of monies and development of a proposal for use of district funds in support of a club that was in specific need. Numerous donations were collected at the time, and the committee was established. Adjournment happened, and I now move for the cabinet to please provide formal approval of the minutes from November 2019. Does anyone have an objection?
The voting member want to second this?
Thank you.
Did we get a motion and approve and second? This is Chris. I motion.
I second.
Perfect. Thank you. These will be submitted. In addition to our cabinet meeting, we did have additional reports that were provided for the remainder of the year, 421B, closing off this year. We received them from the 21B Regional Chair, Bobby Ravenkamp, Zone Chair Muriel Stevens, and Zone Chair Jim Perkins, outlining the ongoing services happening in our clubs in spite of COVID. From mask making to food bank donations, our Lions were busy and made cards to cheer those in lockdown, supported neighbors and senior members in the community with food shopping and errands. Still others assisted school children with materials and supplies. Lions do not allow barriers to limit their creativity. these were reports that were submitted to the cabinet for the remainder of the year. Finally, I have a report from the Literacy Committee that will require action from the cabinet. Lion Muriel Stevens is the chair of the Literacy Committee and has submitted a report for 2019-2020. She outlines in her report the immense success that they have had in a number of areas. The Reading Action Program 21B website has had favorable comments from all over, not only the state, but internationally. Several Lions and retired teachers have been faithful in making posts and supporting the activities of literacy. The committee donated 500 books to various schools in the name of the Literacy Committee. Muriel has worked closely with the Literacy Connects in Tucson and encourages many to get out into the schools to tutor and read into the classes. We were able to slide in and do that right before the shutdown. So we should all keep in mind that as these schools reopen, there are going to be certain needs that we're going to want to look for opportunities in which to serve. Lion Muriel does request that the cabinet give approval to change the name of the committee and the website to the Reading Action Program 21 South to denote our new district. Is there a motion to accept the renaming of this committee and have it continue to serve Arizona?
This is Chris, so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second from Sandy.
Thank you very much. That ends the report on minutes from the Cabinet Secretary.
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary Sheila. For clarification, both of those motions passed because there were no objections. As we go forward, because of what we're limited to do here, if a voting cabinet member objects, state your objection, we can do a roll call vote. Otherwise, we're going to assume that these are passing unanimously.
Lion, District Governor Robert Yarber has a question. His hand is up. Lion Robert, if you'd like to unmute and ask your question, please. Or a correction to the minutes. I don't know which. Oh, he disappeared. Apparently not a question. Never mind, Lion District Governor.
Okay, thank you very much. With that, we'll move on. I'll turn the time over to our Cabinet Treasurer, Sandy Schiff. I should mention that both Sheila and Sandy served Chris last year as the last Cabinet Secretaries and Treasurers of 21B, and they've agreed to bring their experience over and help us to establish ourselves in 21S, and I appreciate them both immensely. And with that, we'll turn the time over to you, Sandy.
Sandy, this is Sheila. If we could, I apologize, but it looks like we had one more thing to do that I had skipped over, so my apologies. So Sandy, I'll just take your time for just a few minutes, if that's all right.
Thank you.
We did have a session, which many of you were able to attend, that announced the awards that were given by our now immediate past District Governor, Chris Gibb, to different Lions of service in 2019. Not all of you were able to attend, and we know that it is challenging to work in some of these webinars into your schedules, or even just getting used to the idea that you can leave your living room and go to the computer and poof, be on a Lion meeting. So we wanted to have this chance to just make sure that everyone who was recognized had a broader audience. So very quickly, next slide, please. We had President's certificates of appreciation that were awarded to Zone Chair Ken Alberg, to Cabinet Secretary Sheila Palazzolo, to PDG Bobby Ravenkamp, and to Lion Richard Stevenson. Lion Bobby, I'm so sorry about your last name. The President's Medal was awarded to PCC John Hart. Leadership Award, Zone Chair Jim Perkins. And the Lion of the Year was Lion Stephen Thomas. The PDGA Grassroots Award went to Lion Susan Sanchez. And unless immediate past District Governor Chris Gibb has something he wishes to say about those awards, we again want to thank him for his service, and you do have a Melvin Jones on its way.
All right. Thank you, everyone. This is Chris. I guess I'm immediate past District Governor Chris now. I just want to thank everybody now. And I told DG Keith that I won't take but a minute. As everybody knows, I'm a man of few words. I want to
We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that. I want to thank all the presidents of all the clubs, zone chairs, region chairs, my GST, GLT, and GMT people. Guys, we had a successful year, even though we actually only got to really work hard for 2/3 of it. So it was kind of unusual, and I appreciate the abilities of everyone to change directions and modify. I did have just, if I could really quickly, let me see. Everybody see that? It's last year's President Choi's lapel pins, and I was so thankful that past international president Joe Preston was able to get me some of these. I'd like to give those as additional awards. I'm having trouble with the camera here. Here we go. I'd like to give those as additional awards to these folks, okay? Past District Governor Ray Clark for all of his great advice and mentorship. Region Chair Lion Annabelle Klein. GLT Lion Lori Gintz. Region Chair and District Administrator, past District Governor Bobby Ravenkamp. Cabinet Treasurer Lion Sandy Schiff. And my Cabinet Secretary, who really will keep Keith out of trouble, Lion Sheila. With that, Keith, I wish you the best of luck. Unfortunately, those who know that Lion Keith and I are in the same club, and we live just a couple of miles apart. So I'm fairly certain it won't be the last time he calls on me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, immediate past District Governor Chris. Congratulations to you and your cabinet, by the way, on a very successful year under extremely trying times. With that, thank you for your patience, Sandy, and we'll once again turn it over to you.
Thank you, Governor. Well, let's just say that the last year's been a roller coaster year, which is fun for me because it's more exciting than a merry-go-round, where you just see the same people around and around all the time. We went up, we went down, we were rolling at one point, and then we got shut down by a governor who's got more rank than our governor, which is hard to believe. Because I think if it was a wrestling match between Gibbs and Ducey, we know who would win. Let's see. Now, you want me to report on the final report? Okay. So I can tell you that I submitted the balance sheet and the profit and loss statement. And thanks to a lot of help from God and the tailwinds from a virus which shut us down, our expenses were very low last year, which means our balance sheet and our budget and everything looked remarkable. We were able to put a lot of money into our savings account. There's still money flowing into that. And at the end of the year, there was, let's see, out of all the clubs in 21B, only 6 clubs joined 21S with a balance past due. I think that's a pretty good outcome. We have let's see, so we have plenty of money in the balance sheet. And the most important thing that was concerning at the very end of 21B, as we said goodbye and that ship called 21B sailed away, is to change the name to the new good ship 21S. And that was a lot of fun. That was a great adventure as a treasurer, as I sought the expert advice from most of you. And we had terrific conversations from the north, from the south, the east, and the west. And at the end, all we did was change our name. And because we saved our EIN number and all the accounts are still in order, what that means is our accounts at Wells Fargo Bank are still intact. If you forget that we're no longer 21B and you write a check to 21B, it will still be honored. If you receive a check from 21B check stock until the new check stock is in, that check will clear. But it's a very exciting time in my life. Every time I've been part of an organization that resets and restarts, it puts us all on a level playing field. So that means that all the newest Lions and all of the seniority Lions, like some of us, my dad was a Lion, I've been a Lion 30 years, we're all starting out on the same page. And congratulations to the cabinet that our district governors put together. I can tell you that our balance sheet and our financial report from 21B is very healthy. And that means that, oh, by the way, everyone who's a cabinet member will get their shirts paid for by the district. I just need to know what size you want to wear and all of the other options, whether you want a boy's shirt or a girl's shirt. So send all that to Line Cabinet Treasurer, Line Cabinet Secretary Sheila. So forward it to me, we'll get your shirts ordered. Are there any questions about the proposed budget? The biggest problem I have with putting together a proposed budget is the fact that most of the conversion from 21B to 21S at the LCI level, as most of you may already know, didn't happen until the last 10 days. That means 10 days ago that was done. So I can tell you that we've gone to, let's see, what do we have here? We've got 49 clubs officially in 21 South. We added 11 new clubs. 7 of those are in the West region. And we've scrambled and billed due statements to all but 10. And of those 10, 4 are what I consider ghost clubs. That means that they either had members and lost them, or they're not reporting. So we're staying on top of all this, but I'm happy to answer any questions, and everything is in order. And it was a wonderful dance to get us to this point. Back to you, Governor.
Are there any questions for our cabinet treasurer? If there are none, I would entertain a motion to accept the proposed budget that the treasurer Sandy has presented, that's on your handouts there.
This is Chris, so moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Are there any, of the voting cabinet members, are there any objections to passing this budget? Hearing none, it's unanimously approved. Thank you very much. Still no questions, Brian?
No, sir. I will let you know when there are.
Great. It's pretty good we don't have questions on finances. Thank you very much, Treasurer Sandy. Moving along, we've invited our past district governor, Bobby Ravenkamp, to address us. She is also the chair of the district LCIF committee. She's also agreed to be the administrator this year for 21 South. I am extremely grateful for that. Bobby has been a good personal friend of mine and a mentor for quite some time, which is even more amazing that she would accept this, since she actually knows me and knows how much stuff she'll be cleaning up in my wake. So with that, I will turn the time over to you, past District Governor Bobby.
Sorry, I had to promote her up to panelist. She'll be up in a second. And Sandy, you can hide your
Okay.
camera if you like.
Very good.
Thank you, Brian.
Hello,
Bobby,
everyone.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi. We have some challenges right now from the administrative point of view, as you all know. For some reason, there's glitches back at LCI. Those of us who have limited access are continuing to query. Have no idea when it'll get cleared up, finally. So when we do get access, I'll be able to keep a better eye on what help you might need. So right now it's tricky. Now on to LCIF. Wow, we're doing great, but we need to do better. I sent off copies of the brochures that I normally you would have received at an in-person get together, and you will, if you have time to look at those, once you get it in the mail, put it in your hand, think about it. Don't throw it away. It's not trash. And look at what LCIF is doing around the world. There are several grant options in progress in Arizona, and we'll keep you advised about how that's happening. But one of the first things I'd like all of you who are here as leaders, as members, and if you're a Lion, you're a leader in your community, period. Take a minute and set the example in your own club and make your own personal contribution. Yes, clubs make contributions, but so do Lions. And right now, less than 3% of us in Arizona are making personal contributions. Any amount helps, whether it's $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever you can afford. A one-time donation makes a big difference, not just for us, but for all the Lions like us who are serving around the world. Jim Perkins has volunteered to help me out this year, and I appreciate it. And once we get some access, we can make sure we can keep in better touch with all of you. And that's what my report is. Thank you, DG Keith.
Thank you very much, Bobby. We appreciate the report and we appreciate you serving continually and once again. As we look to the future, we are 2 vice district governors. Of course, anybody can run and be elected, but more than likely, you'll be looking at your next 2 district governors. We've invited them in order to do some presentations. This wasn't it specifically, but as I turn this over to our first Vice District Governor, Richard Hopkins, I'll also tell you, Richard, if there's anything else you'd like to add on your own in addition to the theme in USA Canada Forum, you're welcome to do that so that people will know you. With that, I'll turn this over now to you, Lion Richard.
Thank you. If it's Saturday, expect an email on Monday from the USA Canada Forum on something new. They was still going to be in person. Then they emailed and said, no, it's been canceled. And then Friday afternoon, got an email that said, we're going to have it, but it's going to be virtual. I don't know who all got that email, but here are some of the details. September 25th to 27th, online like this conference is. They're having a lot of different events. I know it's been quite expensive for folks to go, but this is only $20. Registration fee, and you can come and go. You don't have to sit there the whole 3 days. You'll be able to see the Lions University. You can get your credits for your degrees from Lions University, and it looks like it will be at your calendar, at your leisure, at your schedule. go in and see what's going on. That's a good way for people that have never been. I've never been, and so it's really a really good opportunity. And I know that there's funds budgeted for the district governor and the vice district governors to reimburse for going. I don't know whether that's district level or multiple district level, but since that money's not going to be used, it's already budgeted. I would like us to consider reimbursing our district members the $20 to go up to the limit of what our budget was. So it's USA Canada Forum. The registrations are open now, and I think it's a very worthy event. I know District Governor Keith has gone before, and he raves about it. So that's basically it. Unless anybody has any questions, that's about all I know about it.
If there are no questions, then thank you very much, Vice District Governor Richard, for that report. I'll just add, I think that's exciting news that they've decided to go ahead and continue that in an online format. Having been to those a couple myself, I've also been to International Convention, I've been to Advanced Leadership Institute, District Governor Training, and while all of those have been beneficial, I really believe that the USA Canada Forum was probably the best of all of those. And it's partly because there are so many things to choose from. You can pick those things that you want to be strengthened in, or the things that you don't understand, and it really is a pick list. So this is the first time I had learned that it had changed to this format and is available. So thank you very much. I like the idea of reimbursing for attending that. I'll find out the procedure that we would do to bring that to maybe a special cabinet meeting and see if that is a possibility. I'd like to move on now to our second Vice District Governor, who is Jim Kuhn. Because of circumstances, probably not many of you, or a lot of you have not been able to meet
Keith,
Jim.
Keith,
yes.
I'm supposed to also do the International President theme.
Yes, you are. So let me go back and let me apologize to you. I'm not used to the virtual format where people can give me signals and interrupt me. So I'll probably mess this up with others of you as well. So thank you for your patience and continue on, Richard.
Oh yeah, I was planning on this one, and then this week I think I got the thing said USA Canada Forum. So I did that one first because it's the easiest one. We saw International President Choi speak, and he said some of the same things I was going to say. Of course, they're his words, and I was just going to copy them. But the main thing of the president's theme is united in kindness and diversity. And he has 4 basic steps or tenets or ideas about what he would like all of us to do. Now, I'm probably going to get a little emotional when I talk about some of this stuff, so please forgive me. Serving our world safely. He wants to focus on 4 key elements of Lions International that are essential to our mission of service. Essential means basically they got to be there. Addressing the global causes by serving local needs. We all are moved when we see the videos and the commercials on TV about the children that are hungry and about medical needs and things such as that. One of his statements is that we can't do everything, but we take care of those here that we can, and that's our part. I mean, we would all like to get rid of all of this stuff, but we can't. So a quick recap of our five global causes. Childhood cancer. The objective is to help those affected by childhood cancer survive and thrive. Every 2 minutes, a child is diagnosed with cancer. And the average age of that child is 6 years of age. And there's 13% more childhood cancer now than there was 20 years ago. And greater than 90% of the fatalities from childhood cancer are in the lower income areas. Unless we're a doctor, the best thing we can do is help donate some funds for treatment and things like that. The environment. Sustainably protect and restore our environment to improve the well-being of all communities. 30% of all land in the world is forest. 1.5 billion trees are cut down every year. We know about the water and the plastics in the ocean and things like that. Last year, our multiple district contributed to plant 1,100 trees in the burned out areas around Camp Toddy where the forest fire was a few years ago. So please do whatever you can. Join your Earth Day. Clean up the environment and help where you can. Ensure all community members have access to nutritious foods. You know, I serve on my local school board for the last 14 years. It's unfortunate that many of the students, the only nutritious meals they get is the breakfast and lunch at the schools. And that's happening here in our neighborhoods, and that's happening all over the world as well. We have the food drives. We make donations to the food banks. Thank you to all the clubs that forked over the extra $200 that the multiple district reimbursed you for, and especially thanks to the clubs that forked over more than that, because that really, really helps. But I want you to consider this. As of yesterday, we have 1,186 members in 21 South. When you go to the store, a couple of packs of noodles or spaghetti a week cost you less than $2. You don't have to take a truckload. You don't have to take a bag full. A couple extra bags of noodles or spaghetti taken to the local food bank. At the end of a year, that is over 30 tons of food we can donate to our local food banks. So please consider that. Our vision, we all know vision from 1925 when Helen Keller first challenged the Lions to be her Knights of the Blind. And we all know the vision screenings, the things such as that, that we all do, the surgeries we help, the glasses we get to school children. Excellent, the great partnership with the National Association of School Nurses. Our club almost tripled the number of glasses that we provided students because they could go locally, and that was over 71 students the previous year in our two local school districts that got glasses. I knew that was important. I'm in Fry's one day, looking at the Campbell's Chunky Soups to see which one I wanted to take home cook for dinner. And I felt something bump my leg, and I turned around and looked, and I didn't see anything. And then it turned out it was pulling on my pants leg, and I looked down, and there was a 5 or 6 year old, maybe 7-year-old little boy looking up, smiling ear to ear. And you could tell he had brand new glasses on. And mother came up apologetic. I'm sorry, sir. He recognized you. You did the screening, told him he needed glasses. We didn't know. And he saw you in the store, and he wanted to come up and show you his brand new glasses. And that's what did it for me. So keep that up. There's 253 million in the world that are blind or have distance vision impairment. There's 1.1 billion people in the world that have near vision impairment because they do not have a pair of glasses. And 75% of blindness and the vision impairments are preventable. So that's why it's important to get your keep your screening, collect the used glasses, send them into the vision center, because they do go around the world. Glasses that Lions in Arizona have collected are being worn in the jungles of the Philippines. And a couple of years ago, the club sneaked into Vietnam and went to an orphanage. And there are children in the jungles of Vietnam that are wearing glasses that can now see for the first time, thanks to what you've done with the glasses being collected. And then the next thing is the diabetes. We all know about that. November 14th is World Diabetes Day. Lions International have formed the hashtag Lions Fight Diabetes, and in partnership with the International Diabetes Foundation, want to screen 1 million people for type 2 diabetes this year. By World Diabetes Day, November 14th, you can take an online risk assessment, or you organize a screening for yourself at your screening events. So those are basically the 5 global causes, and some statistics and some things that it's why we do what we do. It's why we're here. And I can't echo PDG Bobby enough to please donate through to LCIF, because those dollars go a long way somewhere, not only to these developing countries that really need this type of help, but it comes back to Arizona in grants, flood grants, disaster grants. And I believe the last time it was reported, we've received a whole heck of a lot more money than we've ever given them, grants to help our communities, Wickenburg, Aguila, down south in the Safford area, and places like that from the floods. So thank you all. I look forward to getting to know you, and hopefully it will, this next year for me will turn out to be a lot better than the last year was. And so I hope to get to see you all, and so sorry we're not meeting in person today. So Keith, back over to you.
Thank you, BDG Richard. We appreciate that very much. Thank you for giving 2 reports since I split you up. The things you talked about are the reason we're Lions. Although we enjoy each other's company and the social aspects, we're here to serve other people, and we appreciate you reminding us of that. Our next person I'm going to turn the time over to, I started mentioning a minute ago, our second Vice District Governor, Jim Kuhn. This isn't on there, Jim, but if you would maybe just take a couple of minutes to introduce yourself a little bit as well, so those who haven't met you yet will know who you are, and then if you would continue on with your introduction of our guest speaker. Jim.
Yeah, I'm Jim Kuhn. Last minute I decided to run for second vice district governor, and you guys were silly enough to elect me. We haven't had a formal meeting yet as far as what my duties are as a second vice district governor, but District Governor Keith and I kind of went over a little bit, and he kind of summarized what my duties are. Number one, get me something to drink. I'm thirsty. Number two, I'm hungry. You know what to do. Number three, yes, District Governor Keith. Yes, District Governor Keith. And yes, District Governor Keith, I'll get to it right away. That pretty well sums up the duties for right now. And now to get on to the really important stuff, I'd like to introduce past Council Chair Gerson Gonzalez. He joined Tucson Wilmot Lions Club in 1986, where he served as a lion tamer, tail twister, secretary, treasurer, and president. In 1994, Gerson was transferred to Phoenix by the federal government and served in several area Lions clubs. He moved back to Tucson in 2002 after retiring and joined the South Tucson Lions Club. He has served as governor of District 21B in 2004, 2005, and as council chairperson of multiple District 21 in 2015, 2016. Past council chair Gerson is the current president of the South Tucson Lions Club, and he would like to tell you about the International Convention in Montreal. Thank you.
Lion Gerson is not here yet. I've been trying to reach out to him. I asked Sandy to help me. So I have the slide, but Gerson is not anywhere to be found at the moment.
Well, that's interesting. I suppose then we'll just continue on the agenda, and if Lion Gerson comes in, then perhaps after leader dogs, we can slot them in there. Our Arizona Vision Screening Committee is represented by our past council chair, Jim Sterenberg, who also is the new Metro Region Chair, and Lion Jeanette Russell. I don't know if they're going to be speaking jointly or how they plan to do that, but they've got some exciting news.
Lion Jim, you are muted. You need to unmute
They're
yourself.
asking for you to participate. Are you trying to get in? You're here.
Yes, I'm in.
Oh,
Lion
well,
Jim.
and they say they can't hear you.
Mute Sandy.
Gerson.
All right, so I should tell them to unmute you?
Gerson is not visible, Sandy.
Okay.
He might be on there through his wife, Mary Ann.
What's her last name?
Gonzalez, like his.
There she is.
All right, I'm hanging
Mute
up.
You're gonna have to
Sandy.
wait one moment, Jim. We'll get back to Gerson.
Right.
Hold on one second.
I could always, you know.
Lion Gerson.
Okay, put me on speaker.
All right.
Gerson is
Put me on
unmuted.
speaker.
Lion Sandy.
Gerson can talk now. Listen to Gerson.
Hello. Hello. I am listening to you. I've been here all morning, hooked up at 8:30. You just unmuted me. Can you hear me through there?
Yes, we have you now, Lion Gerson. PCC Gerson. We have you now.
Sandy.
Huh?
Tell him to unmute Sandy.
He says to unmute Sandy.
Brian, unmute Sandy.
unmute Sandy so I can go through.
Gerson, we hear you just fine. We don't need Sandy's phone anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I've been here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Just keep
we hear
going,
you just
Gerson.
fine, sir.
Okay. Now Sandy can go off.
Turning you off.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Beautiful morning, beautiful meeting. I hate to be the one who ruined it, and I just did, but I don't know. You can hear me because I was muted, and I couldn't mute myself. So, welcome to Montreal. You see the graphics. We're not going to talk too much about the new normal, so we're going to go through this as if we are having a regular convention and not a virtual convention, which I think is what may happen. The webpage for the convention has not been, it has been generated, but not populated. There is nothing, everything is to be announced. So I say the members of the Lions of Quebec are proud to welcome you to the 103rd International Convention 2021 in Montreal, in the beautiful province of Quebec. Montreal has hosted the International Convention twice, and some of you remember that we went to at least one in 1979 and in 1996. And we are delighted to welcome you again after 25 years. Guests who booked their housing with Lions Clubs International at a delegation hotel have free shuttle. You know that because you'll get an ID card, what they call a carnet. Transportation to all official conventions and events. Booking your hotel through Lions International helps keep the cost down because they get deals and because they're able to put a little buffer in those prices. Lions will be assigned to their delegation hotels on a first come, first place basis, subject to availability through January 8, 2021. After that is whatever you can get. This year, Arizona delegation has 4 hotels. And I am going to have the secretary send you this with the minutes. I guess he would probably send the report. And I have the hotels and the prices. In addition to at least one adult registration payment, a hotel deposit in the amount of $200 per room is required to make a reservation. The deposit is not the daily rate, but will guarantee the reservation. The US $200 deposit will be credited to your guest folio at checkout. A minimum of 2 nights is required to book a hotel with Lions International. Now, I'll give you the cancellation deadline for individual and group refunds of hotels deposits is Saturday, May 1st, 2021. Failure to cancel by the deadline will result in the forfeiture of your hotel's deposit. And I may mention here that the convention next year, hopefully some of you have received your refunds. I think some of us have not, and we wonder if they're saving it too, so we can add it to this coming year in the event that there is a convention. Now, I run through the hotel rates and the hotel names quickly. The Hotel Nelligan is $200 or 283 Canadian dollars. The La Saint Supplice is $177 per day or 250 Canadian dollars. The Marriott Spring Hill Suites, 217 Canadian dollars and 154 USA dollars. The Renaissance Montreal Centerville is $204 or 289 Canadian. The airline of choice is United Airlines, and to that I may say that one of the big reasons, other than COVID-19, the airlines will take some time. If there was something announced in the United States and in the world that world travel would start, the airlines will take probably a month or more to get going because so many pilots are on furlough, so many people are laid off. But the United Airlines and their subsidiaries are, and of course Canada Air, it's good. But if you book through United Airlines, you get a 10% off. Then we have travel dates for that 10% will be between 22 June and 2 July. The 2nd of July and 22nd, the 22nd of June through the 2nd of July, that's the window for for us. For the world, their windows are bigger because they come to stay 2-3 weeks. Some of them travel, that's their vacation, and stay a month. And this is people from all over the world. As you know, most Lions, Africa and India and the world are very, very well to do, and they like to spend time, and that's one of the big reasons of maybe no convention this year. As I said, I urge you to visit LCI-Con, which is the LCI convention webpage. Gives you news and updates, and the Montreal 2021 webpage that there is a link that you can go to from the LCI convention news for any convention events. And then talking to some of the executives of LCI, they're advising that it's going to be very hard to do a convention in person this year. Now, as going to mention the Parade of Nations scheduled for June 26th. The step off hasn't been given. Everything there is to be announced. The Parade of Nations. And as you know, Multiple District 21 is replacing the uniform shirt. And if you saw the Canyon State Lion, there's an article that we send. We have a committee to do that. And send your suggestions We are going to have some more information in the Kenyan State as to how to participate. We would have a form to fill out, and you send in your logos, your suggestions. I've already have a lot of inquiries and suggestions, so hold on until you see the rules. They're coming out quickly, and hopefully we'll have a new uniform or a new logo in our shirt. And that was explained at the council meeting and at the article that we publish. And I like to thank you for letting me be a guest speaker, which I found out that I was day before yesterday. You all knew, but I didn't know, but that's okay. I thank you very much. Any questions, send them to me on anything relating to the convention or relating to the new uniform shirt change. Thank you.
Thank you, PCC Gerson. We appreciate your information on the International Convention. We hope it's going to be in person, the circumstances will allow, and we hope that many people will be able to attend. I began introducing our committee for the Arizona Vision Screening Committee. So at this time, we'll continue on with them with the PCC Jim and Lion Jeanette. We're here to hear from you. Go right ahead.
Yes, thank you, Governor. The state legislation passed a screening law last year. It's one of the last states to do so. It was signed by the governor, and it requires visual acuity, depth perception, and color vision. Most of us have been doing the visual acuity and some depth perception and color vision, but this is going to be new to a lot of the clubs that are participating in the screenings. It was turned over to the Department of Health Services to determine what protocol would be followed. A committee was formed. They argued back and forth, and really nothing came of it. COVID came along and kind of saved us in a way. But they were talking about using the screeners only in pre-K, K, and first grade. And most of us have been doing the whole school when we go in. Some have been doing kindergarten through fourth, but I think the majority of us are doing the whole schools. So we have set up a committee of Arizona Lions from the north and the south to look at some of these issues. And the first thing we're looking at is establishing a protocol for dealing with the COVID, if we're allowed and when we're allowed to go back into the school systems. We're going to have to take some special precautions. And we also are working on protocols of how to report this. We've had clubs in the past doing screening, and they've never reported any of their findings to us. And this year it's going to be very, very critical because we're putting together a report, doing research on other states, other Lions that have been doing vision screenings. We're going to get information from superintendents, teachers, nurses in the school systems, and put this together in a package. And eventually, when the committee is formed again, we will present this to the health department. So we will be putting articles in the Canyon State Lions to let everybody know what's happening and keep everybody abreast of it. If there's anyone that would like to participate in this, that has some information, please let Jeanette or myself know. We welcome anyone that has some input, but it's going to be maybe an uphill battle for some of us. At the same time, if we only screen the preschool, the kindergarten and first grade, that will take care of most of the medical problems. And when I say medical problems, we're looking at strabismus with an eye churning, or amblyopia where they're not using an eye. And those are the things that are really crucial to find earlier in their school years. It would be nice to be able to screen all the kids and before visual acuity and classes, but we will see what the future brings us. But I thank you for the time. Like I said, we will be reporting this in the Canyon State Lions, trying to keep everyone up to date. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PCC Jim. Next, after this next presentation, I think I'll give Brian just a little bit of a warning. We might want to ask you to bring in the house band for just a few minutes so people can take a quick break, get a drink, go to the bathroom, fill up their inkwells, whatever they might need to do. So now we'd like to go and hear about the Leader Dog program. Beth Slade and past council chair Tom Simmons. Tom has been very involved in this. This is something that's affected him personally. I was able to attend the Leader Dog session in Detroit last year with him to learn about some of the amazing things they do. So I'm going to turn the time over to Tom, and he's welcome to introduce Beth as well. Tom.
Hello.
Line Tom, you are unmuted.
I'm unmuted. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes,
can you
sir,
hear me?
we can.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we can.
It's my pleasure to introduce Lion Beth Slade from the Leader Dogs for the Blind, and she is also a lion and has been a lion with the Lake Orion Lions Club, and she is the director of philanthropy for the Lions group of all the lions, and they service and supply information to lions all over the world. And I've had the pleasure to work with Lion Beth several times in different functions, and she is just an outstanding person. So without any more ado, I will turn it over to Lion Beth Slade.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, PCC Tom. I don't usually get that formal with you. District Governor Keith, can you hear me? Okay, good. Just making sure.
Yes.
I was actually just bouncing back and forth between MD14 and here. So I'm sitting in Michigan and I'm being terribly global today. So I want to thank you very much for getting us on the agenda so that we can give you a little heads up as to what's going on with Leader Dog. Congratulations, first off, to you all on your redistricting. I know that that's difficult to go through. A lot of innovation. That's what we get to do all the time. You're pivoting with everything else that's going on. So why not throw in a few more difficulties? So congratulations to all of you. But we've been pivoting as well. As a matter of fact, in March at Leader Dog was the first time that we have had to cancel a class since I think weather related back in the 1960s. So this was pretty monumental for us to close our doors. As a matter of fact, PCC Tom had his bags packed and was ready to come back for his next Leader Dog, and unfortunately got the phone call that that wasn't going to happen right now. So we just yesterday, it's a historic moment for us. We graduated our first guide dog class of this fiscal year. Of course, we have the same fiscal year as Lions. We haven't had anybody in since March. We had to do a lot of innovation. How do you keep people distanced? How do you have people who are living in the residence stay far enough away from each other? All of our trainers came up with some great alternatives. They even used headphones and microphones so that everyone could hear each other over their masks that were on. We had a smaller class size. I like to say we're opening the door just a smidge. So we're offering up smaller classes. We're looking at clients who can come from areas that they can drive in from versus flying yet. We're trying to be very cognizant of the health, because of course the mission of Leader Dog is about safety, right? So we certainly don't want to put anybody in an unsafe situation just by coming to us for services. So we have started some home deliveries of guide dogs, and we have started back up orientation and mobility or white cane training. What we have been able to do, we have a summer experience camp for kids that are 16 and 17. And this year, just like this meeting, it went virtual. So instead of inviting 23 16 and 17-year-olds to camp, we were actually able to make it larger because we made a virtual camp. So we had campers, we had 43 campers from 21 states, US and Canada, and they were ages 14 to 17 because of course they didn't have to come to campus, so we could actually open the age gap. And they had a fantastic time. So that might be something that we can keep for the future for kids who are too young to come to campus, so we can at least continue on with a virtual summer experience. And we've had campers from Arizona as well, so this is really exciting. So as far as we know, we are, because we're in constant communication with other guide dog organizations as well. So far, we think that we're the only guide dog school that has allowed clients to come back on campus. So if you all know of anyone in your towns who can benefit from any of our services, either guide dogs, the white cane, or the summer experience for teens, please know that we're still accepting applications. We're still queuing people up to come for anything that would be able to help. For Arizona in particular, for those of you that like numbers, here's a little bit of a heads up. Right now we have 14 active leader dog teams in Arizona. Historically, we've placed over 191 leader dogs to people who live in Arizona. I always say those numbers are low because of course 80 plus years ago when we started, we didn't have the same Excel spreadsheets that we do now. But the nice part about that is it's over $8.7 million worth of services that we never had to bill for. And why is that, Lions? It's because of you. So all of our programs are still free. If you can get to campus, we'll fly you there as soon as it's safe. Your transportation to leader dog, your time there, the dog, the cane, the summer experience, it all comes with a zero price tag, and we're still pretty proud of that. We've had over 15 people come for the orientation and mobility. We partner with a lot of agencies, especially out in Arizona, that we can work with their orientation and mobility experts that are there. So even if someone says, oh, I can get O&M here, we partner with agencies so that we can do a little bit more in-depth there, and then they can work with them in their home environment. So that's working out really well. If you have agencies, veteran administrations, let us know. We partner with them all the time. So we've had 2 campers, as I said, have come in, and we have right now 3 approved applicants for leader dogs from Arizona. One of them is on this call. He's just sitting there in the wings waiting, PCC Tom. And the one last thing, and I'm going to say this as a shout out to all of MD21, because I want you to be really proud of this. As I was talking about that there's zero cost, we have great support from Lions in Arizona. And we want to say thank you. We want to say a huge thanks to Prescott Sunrise Lions Club. I know they were, what were they previously, 21C, I think, which is now, are they S?
No, they're North.
They're North? Okay. So they're in North, but I just thought you all would like to know as a fellow Arizonians, they were the 19th largest donation to Leader Dog this year out of about 3,500 clubs from North America. And so we're really proud. They're a top dog club for us. That's any club that gives over $5,000 or more to our annual fund. And so we just want to, as fellow Lions in Arizona, to give a shout out to the Prescott Sunrise Lions Club. So know that PCC Tom and I are available for virtual presentations everywhere. I think we've gotten this down pretty well, haven't we, Tom?
We're getting there.
We're getting there slowly but surely. So I just want to thank you guys. Thanks for getting this on, District Governor Keith. I know we won't be able to see our VDGs live this year, but we are doing a virtual summer visit experience. So we look forward to seeing you guys there, and thanks so much.
And I just want to
Thank
say,
you very much. Thank you.
I just want to say a last word. Nelson is fine. He's laying on the couch right now. He's just retiring when we do go to school, and he will be happy as a couch potato the rest of his years at my house.
Very good. Thank you, PCC Tom. Thank you, Beth. All you should know that Leader Dogs for the Blind is an official project of Lions Club, and they don't charge their clients. So there are other agencies out there that do some things with dogs, but this is the Lions project, and those who receive them aren't charged for it. This time we'd like to take a short break. When we get back, we've got a few more things that we'd like to cover. I think you'll find them informative. Most of these will be relatively brief, it looks like. And Lion Brian, will you tell us how long this break is and how it works, please?
It's a 5-minute break. There will be 2 songs back to back that are 5 minutes long in total. And then when they're over, we'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. That's the end of your break. And we'll now turn it back over to our district governor, Ryan Keith.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for doing that, Brian. Before we get into, I'm going to turn time over to the different cabinet members to talk about their plans for the year. First, we're going to go briefly over our district goals for the year. There will be other ones that the different projects will do, that the cabinet officers, that our chairman will have as well in addition to that. But the enumerated ones the one that we turn in that are objective and measurable are 7 of those. This will be out in the next newsletter, so even if you don't get them all written down, that's okay too. The first 2 deal with membership. Obviously, if you're going to serve and be successful, you've got to have the people and the resources to do that. And so for this coming year, our goal is to have 5 new clubs spread out throughout the district, and a total of 160 new members beyond what we have right now. Some of you are familiar with guiding lions. These are experienced lions, generally have been in leadership. They're able to help clubs to develop both membership programs, service programs, and leadership. And there's a certification process for them. Our goal this year is to identify 10 of those guiding lions and to have them trained and certified. There are also 2 training programs for leaders. There's the Advanced Lions Leadership Institute and the Emerging Lions Leadership Institute. Our goal this year is to identify 10 people who are eligible to participate in those, and as those slots come up, to allow them to go and do that, receive that training, and then be able to come back to Arizona and to our district and to help us here. We want to have 100% of our club officers trained by the end of the first quarter. There's different levels of training, but this is the basic training, so they understand what their jobs are. They understand how they can help their clubs to grow. Talked a little bit about LCIF earlier. Lion Bobby did, Lion Richard did. I think it'll be talked about again. That is our charity, our charitable arm, and the charity of Lions Club is the Lions Clubs International Foundation. And our goal this year is to have 100% of our clubs contributing something monetarily to LCIF. Every club is different, their situation is different, so there's not a goal per club, but we would like each club to be making a contribution to LCIF. Finally, as I said before, the reason that we're Lions, the reason that we're here is to serve other people, to serve our communities and those around us. Our goal is to have 100% of our clubs reporting their service on LCI. Sometimes people don't think that that's as important as it is. I hear people say, gosh, we do these wonderful things in our community. We're not doing it for glory or recognition. And so we don't report it, or we're too busy. There are a couple of things I would ask you to remember though on reporting your service activities. The first is, this is something that other clubs can learn from, learn how you do it, or learn or get ideas to help their own communities, or they may be doing something similar that you can contact each other and help each other to make it stronger. The other significant thing that sometimes we don't mention though too is that there are large multi-million-dollar foundation grants, corporate grants that go to LCIF, and a lot of times the amount of that contribution is contingent on member participation by clubs throughout the world. And so if we're not reporting those numbers, we're not able to get those matches. So these are the goals for the district. Again, this will be sent to all of you, but these are all means to an end. What we really want to do is to be able to help people in our communities. We want to enable and empower each one of you and your clubs to be able to be of more and better service to your communities. and as you hear us going forward, that's to agree. That's what everybody is speaking of. Everything comes back to being able to offer service. So with that, I will like to turn some time over now to our immediate past district governor, Chris Gibbs. I asked him, even though he just came out of being district governor, to be our district service chairperson, because service really is what he's all about. I wanted him to be able to take some of the things that he did the past year as a governor, that he accomplished, other things he wanted to before we kind of got shut down, and allow him to help each of you make your service even stronger, not to tell you what to do, but to be a resource to you. And I appreciate that very much. And with that, I will turn this time over now to Lion Chris.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I thank you, Lion Brian, for that wonderful intro music. I guess it was music. Well, so guys, I think that the message was that I tried to put out last year was kind of clear that I truly believe service is key to our whole purpose. We serve. It's key to the club being successful. It's key to the district, the multiple district, and the world. People know Lions because of our service, and so let's think more about it as individual clubs. Remember, service should be relevant. It should be something that's needed and appropriate for our community. Sometimes we continue doing some of the things that they're no longer relevant, but it's what we always did. You know, we've always done it that way, so we continue. I'm not saying you have to change everything, and you shouldn't, but reassessment. Service should be highly visible. No matter what I tell you here in planning service projects, make sure that you make your service visible. Some of the things that we do are completely invisible, transparent to the public. So when we do stuff, make sure that we're all appropriately attired. We have vests or club shirts, certainly banners that identify who we are. And if possible, get some sort of media involvement. In today's modern world of social media, that's not that hard for each individual club to do. So I'm going to talk about planning service projects. Brian? There you go. No, back. Okay, no, that's it. You're all right. Planning a service project, having an event takes 4 parts. Coming up with an idea, the planning, actually trying to put, things together, then having the event, executing it, and following up. Brian? The first part of ideas is brainstorming. Sit down with your group. Stay out of the weeds. What does that mean? If you sit there and talk about the little minutia of details, brainstorming becomes planning, and you want to brainstorm first. What are your community needs? What kind of things could we be doing, and who are our customers? What need are we trying to address, and who is that? But most importantly, stay out of the weeds. For the Air Force, we used to talk about being at 40,000 feet and seeing the big picture. The weeds are at 1 foot. You don't see all the rest of it. So while you're brainstorming, please try to stay out of the weeds. Next. Once you've come up with ideas in a brainstorming session, make a decision. Go for it. Okay, I have this project I want to do. I have this idea. Go for it. Brian? Okay, so what do we need to make something happen? 3 things: people, places, and things. Materials. It's the key. We have to be able to identify those things while we're planning. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we get into the weeds. We're going with one idea, we plan for that idea, and we're getting into the weeds. Remember that depending on how large your event or your project is, how much you're going to have to identify in the weeds. Break up the pieces, make little small pieces for everybody, and involve as many people as possible. Next. So you put the plan together. Okay, make it happen. The biggest thing though is try to make it happen, but be prepared to change. I don't know where the rest of that went, Brian. Click. Okay. Semper Gumby. Once I make stuff happen, one of the first things that happens is it's something you didn't plan for. Everybody makes great plans, but sometimes the weeds do get in the way. And Semper Gumby has been my motto forever. The word semper is Latin, it means forever. Gumby is from our early days of cartoons. He was the most flexible character in the world. So please, while you're executing, while you're having an event, be prepared to make changes on the fly. Gumby could twist and turn and stretch, and be prepared to do that. We are lions, we can make things happen. Next. Lastly, follow up. Talk about it. Did we meet our goal? What about cost versus budget? If we didn't plan to make money, that's fine, but we need to know that. And make an honest evaluation of what you've done. But more important than that, as Lion Keith said, or DG Keith said, report it. We need to know at the district level, at the multiple district, at the international level. What did you do? How many people did you use? What was the cost? Who did it affect? So when I'm talking about reporting, please make sure that you do get it in the system. If you don't know how, call me. Let me know. I'll be there to help you, or Lion Lori will be there to help you with the leadership training, club officer training. We want to make that happen. I guess what I should also remind you is only 1/3 of our clubs have reported a service coordinator in their club. And the service coordinator can be identified, can be anybody. It could be the president. It's nice if you do a lot of service activities to have a coordinator, because that one person then is responsible to your board to help the planning process, help get people like the district to help you, and to report it. Get some of the monkey off of your secretary's back. The service coordinator is the person that can report all service in my Lion. Again, you can ask for help from me or Lion Lori or PDG Bobby. Next, Brian. All right, make it fun. Exceed their expectations. Make it fun. Engage them. Make it fun. Return your volunteers' time and effort investment. Make it fun. This is how we use our service to get and keep members. If we're highly visible and we're doing important stuff, people in your community want to be part of it. There's no reason you cannot improve your membership count every time you do a major project. Sure, minor projects don't necessarily, do that. But if you're visible, people will come to you and ask to be part of it. Brian? All right, the big service thing. You hear it every once in a while. We talk about it. Arizona Lions Service Rally. The date is January 9th, 2021. That doesn't mean that you can only do service on that day. We'd like you to come up with a plan right now for an event that you do, your club. We'd ask that it be on January 9th for a couple of reasons. We're going to try to get media coverage on January 9th. If we can show in the press, in the TV, on the radio, in social media, that Lions all over Arizona, metro and rural, come together on one day to provide meaningful service to everyone. So you're going to be hearing more about that, but it's Arizona Lions Service Rally. If for some reason your club feels you can't do it on that day, okay, that's good. Make your own day. But let's report it, okay? Let's get it going on that day. Next. All right, again, like I said, assign a club service coordinator if you can. Review your projects. Review them. Start planning new ones. If you have questions, write it down right now. That's my telephone number. It's in my presence 24/7. Or send me an email. I'm going to be talking with each of your club service coordinators. We're going to try to get some service individual training going. But guys, the big thing is use your members, get your service ideas from things they're passionate about, and make it worthwhile for them. So at this time, are there any questions about anything concerning service? And like in most meetings, it's crickets.
There are no questions showing yet. I don't know about Lion Lori.
Okay. No problem. Again,
I have a question. Lion Chris, excuse me.
Okay.
Lion Robert Lance has a question. I'm going to unmute you. Lion Robert, you are muted. You need to unmute yourself, please. Okay, Lion Robert, you're on.
One of the questions that I got from my secretary was, we haven't been able to report the last 3 or 4 months what our external activities have been and the hours we've spent doing that. She hasn't been able to get online.
Okay, so one of those things was addressed earlier. One of the problems was that we were converting multiple District 21 into 2 districts. And so the software people at Lions Clubs International had a heck of a time trying to identify who could do what. And I will have to tell you that it is now completely up, operational. We had that problem in my club. I had to hold off a whole bunch of stuff and then train our service coordinator. But it's been open now since the 15th. So try it now. If for some reason that it still doesn't work, please call me as soon as you can and we'll get it fixed.
Okay, well, she and I are working on getting the names and that sort of thing. We need to have in by the 7th of August. So we have a meeting tomorrow and I'll talk to you about it again. Thank you.
So when you're looking at your roster in my LCI to fix that for the directory fix, then just switch over into My Lion at the same time and see if you can't report on one of your activities.
Okay, I will do that.
All right.
We've actually quit collecting it because we couldn't report it. So we'll go back. We'll redo the job you've asked us to do. Thank you.
No problem. No problem, because you can still enter stuff from last year.
Okay, good.
All right. Anybody else?
That was the only question that I've got. I don't know about Lion Lori, but that's the only one I've got.
Okay, I will say one more thing, and this is, I already addressed how service affects membership. I think it's the key to membership, but it's also the key to leadership, because guess what, guys? If we're doing service, more people want to be involved in that planning. But the other part of it is, and I told all of our clubs when I visited, whenever I visit, I tell you that we all joined to serve others. We all joined Lions to serve other people. You should take the opportunity to serve your club. We don't just have to serve our community. We serve our community by being an officer in your club too. Please don't allow your club to have failure, to have, hiccups, to trip, because there's not enough leaders in your club. Take the opportunity to serve others in your club. That's all I've got, Governor.
Thank you, Past District Governor Chris. This is a guy who really has a passion for service, and we're lucky to have him here. Our next speaker is going to be our district membership chair, Lion Ed Lopez. This is Lion Ed's first time as a cabinet position. He is somebody who simply loves people. He talks to people, he welcomes them, he sponsors people in. He's been in retail management his professional career. Quite frankly, I'm happy to have somebody who just wants to go find people and convert them to the cause, and not necessarily fill out forms and have new programs, just get the work done. So with that, please, Lion Ed.
Thank you, District Governor Keith. First of all, I'm honored to be on the membership team, on the district team. But first of all, what I wanted to talk about was membership. Some of the goals that we have for this year, as District Governor said, 5 new clubs and 160 new members. So we're going to be asking all of 21 South Lions clubs to help participate and recruit new members and all. And part of the getting new members and all is, next slide, Brian, please, is recruitment. Is just ask people, just ask them, hey, you want to join the Lions Club? And one of the things that I found out was share your story on why you joined the Lions Club. My story is I wanted to join an organization that really did things throughout the community. And in the Safford Lions Club, I mean, we do a lot. We did a lot. And this was a club that I wanted to be part of. I saw the passion that the leaders had at the club level, at the district level, at the state level. I mean, it just makes you want to be part of this organization. And the love that everyone, the support and all that everyone gives. Also engaged through service, as past district governor Chris Gibbs was talking about. Service is a big part of it. Explain to people about the global causes that LCIF has: vision, hunger, childhood cancer, diabetes, and environment. I mean, those are some of the most important things. But then don't be afraid to ask new members or what their passion is and all. And if it's something that the local club can do, then bring it up to your club meetings and see if they can help do something to get them in and help out. Host a membership drive. That's something big, especially right now during this pandemic. I know it's hard to do, but there's ways to do it: letters, emails, webinars, Zooms, like that. Also, get other members to assist in recruiting new members. Let people know what your club does. We are here to assist in ideas and to let you know where you can get more information on recruiting new members. It's through LCIF. A lot of the district past governors, the information that they have, it's out there. We're here to help support the clubs. Next slide, please, Brian. Another big thing is retention of members' existing clubs. Keep our existing members in the know. Send information on what's going on in your club, in the district, and especially what LCIF is doing. Have Zoom meetings, webinar meetings, send out emails. Again, create a telephone tree to communicate and let the people know what's going on. Write letters. Past District Governors Association has approved PDGs to go to clubs which have requested district assistance to strengthen and build their clubs. Past District Governor Association President Larry Palmer has already begun assisting the Eloy Club, which was slated to dissolve. So they have one club member there, and we're trying to bring that club up and straighten it up and to help make it grow and see what we can do. It's like planting a seed and seeing it grow, and hopefully we can all help support that. Next slide, please. As in, our district governor said that one of the district goals was to get 5 new clubs. What I'm working on is I'm working with people down in Bisbee and in Wilcox, seeing if we can get some clubs going. At Eastern Arizona College, 20 people are ready to join the Lions at the college as soon as the semester begins, which will be in about 2.5 weeks. So with that going forward, hopefully then now it's only 4 clubs that need to be started for the go. And I'm really excited for that. And again, if there's any questions that anyone has or any help that anyone needs, I'm here for you. Please reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lion Ed. It looks like no questions are coming up right now, so we'll keep moving right along. Our next speaker is our district leadership chair, Lori Gins. I can't tell you how impressed I've been with her as she's taught me things over the past couple of years. The really amazing thing is the depth of her knowledge, and probably even more important, her ability to find answers to things. If she doesn't know, she'll find it and get it. She was who I wanted to be my leadership chair as soon as I knew I was going to be district governor. Everybody's lives have different obligations going on. Initially, it seemed like she wasn't going to be able to do it, and I saved it. I saved the text. I'm reading a text from her a few months ago that said, "Circumstances have changed. If you would still like me to do it, I will." And I kind of did a little happy dance around there. And so I'm very grateful that she's here with us this year. So with that, I will turn the time over to you, Lion Lori.
Thank you very much, District Governor Keith. I'm very honored that you did ask me and that I was able to accept. This year, next slide, our multiple District 21 and our 2 district global leadership team coordinators are working as a team. We realize that by combining our efforts, we're going to be able to better serve our individual Lions clubs in our districts. We're also here to help our clubs stay active and also thrive during these times. Next slide. Our multiple District 21 GLT coordinator is past District Governor Tom Price. The 21 North leadership coordinator is past District Governor Ken Leha, and I'm the 21 South coordinator. Our contact information is listed on the screen. If you need to contact us, please do. We're here for you. That's what our job is, to assist you and to help you and make sure that your club is thriving and is able to do what you want to accomplish. Next slide. We came up with a leadership theme this year, and it's stay connected, get involved. During this year, it's been very hard for our individual Lions and clubs, district and multiple district to stay connected. We've had to go from physical face-to-face meetings to a lot of our business, or all of our business in some cases, being conducted on a virtual basis. And determining our service projects and actually being able to accomplish this has been even harder, because for a long time we couldn't have face-to-face contact, and we still have to observe social distancing. So it's very important that we do stay connected and find ways to stay connected and also ways to get involved. Next slide. As I said, our focus is on helping our Lions clubs, and we have had several meetings so far to decide what we're going to accomplish this year. Next slide. One of the things that we want to do is to develop and maintain a catalog of speakers that are available for clubs to have as a virtual program. We want to make sure that we have knowledgeable Lions or even people from the communities or our projects that are able to present a program online to you. At the time, it would only be online. Eventually, it may be able to be in person, but for right now, it's a virtual speaker. The second thing that we would like to do is to identify, recruit, and train our guiding Lions. District Governor Keith explained about the Guiding Lion program earlier. Right now, we have 3 Lions in our district who are certified as a Guiding Lion, and 2 of those Lions certifications expire in October. So we really need to build up our list of Guiding Lions. We also want to develop a Lion leadership list. And that's not just a list of things that a leader would need to do. That's a list of our district Lions that are interested in becoming a leader in possibly our projects, possibly our district officers, committees, or even if you don't want to be in charge of something itself, if you're willing to assist on a committee or on a specific thing that you're very passionate about, we need you to let us know, because we can't ask you to help if we don't know that you want to. Next slide. We're also developing and present to webinars to present, and so far we have a new member orientation that is almost ready to roll out. As the leadership team for the multiple district and districts, we've worked together and we have the slide deck. It's being finalized right now, and we should be able to present the first one within the next couple of weeks. The orientations are going to be at that time presented to some of the clubs in the north, but it will be available for our southern clubs also. We also are developing a webinar on how to navigate MyLCI. We have several new Lions secretaries and presidents and officers that aren't really sure how to navigate MyLCI with the permissions that they've been granted. We're going to have a webinar that will explain what you need to do in order to access specific information. We're also going to develop handouts and webinars on topics that our clubs and Lions request. We can develop a lot of webinars and a lot of handouts that we think you might need, but they may not be what you actually need. So we're asking you to let us know what you want. Next slide, please. We're also going to be conducting training. We're going to have short leadership sessions and discussions. Some of them may be for specific leadership roles. Right now, we're developing ones for our zone chairpersons and our region chairpersons, and eventually we'll start including other leadership positions. We'll also like to have panel discussions for our Lions clubs and our district also. Some of the topics, again, we need to know what you want to hear and what you would like to have in our handouts or webinars, and also if there's panel discussions that you would like to hear and participate in. And later on this year, we will be conducting the zone chairperson training and the incoming officer training for next year's officers and zone chairs. Right now, we have some of the recorded webinars that are available, and we'll also be working on refresher sessions that we can have virtually. We're also available to work one-on-one with our leadership and our Lions if you need assistance. Next slide, please. What I'd like to leave you with is that the mid-year Lions Leadership Conference is going to be held on November 14th. It's online this year because there are still so many social distancing requirements, and it's very difficult to find a meeting location that will accommodate the amount of Lions that would normally attend. Our sessions are going to be 9 to noon and 1 to 4. The topics are being developed right now, and as soon as we have the finalized list, they'll be made available to all of our Lions. Our guest speaker this year is International Director Gary Brown, and his presentation will be extremely informative, and I'm looking forward to hearing from him. Again, thank you very much for asking me to be your leadership team coordinator this year. And I look forward to working not only with our leadership, but I want to work with our clubs and with our individual Lions too. We're here for you. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Yes, I do have one question. Patricia Hollander, I am unmuting you and you can go ahead and ask your question.
I just want to see if there anything put together about mentoring people, because we lose more than we take in. And I think a lot of times people don't realize what we need to do, exactly how to mentor somebody, so we don't offer to do that. And I think maybe we should have a class on how to mentor people and try to make mentoring more important, because I think it is.
We haven't developed anything at the moment officially for the districts and the multiple district, but that will definitely go to the top of our list. It is a very needed subject that we need to cover.
Thank you.
There was another question, but they just disappeared. I don't know who that was. So at this point, there are no further questions.
Thank you very much, Lion Lori. We look forward to another year of your guidance and training, and we appreciate you being here. I'm going to turn some time back over to Cabinet Secretary Sheila. Chris told me she's an amazing person, and I kind of knew that, but I'm really seeing it now. She's always thinking and doing more and better things, and so this is exciting. So Sheila, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Next slide, please, Brian. So we are a new district. We are 21 South. We're coming together with clubs that had been part of a different district, and we're going to try to create a single integrated force. So how do we do that? Especially at a time when we can't be face-to-face and really be putting those names and faces together. Well, our idea is to have a club spotlight. Let's help each and every one of us get to know one another. And we can do that by you providing us information. Next slide, please. So what we want you to do is tell us about your club. And the idea is that existing clubs, old and new, can learn about each other. We open opportunities to discover what other clubs are doing. You might see something that you go, I had never considered that. That would work well in our area, or that would meet a need in our area. It provides partnering connections for the activity support. So perhaps one of the clubs needs some extra hands, and a smaller club or a club with a like interest can come together. We help each other. We are better together. We are stronger together. We can do more together. Don't recreate the wheel, but do learn from others who have done something, and perhaps it was less than successful or it was very successful. Why try to do this on your own? Consider demographic and geographic focuses and challenges. We have clubs that are in a metro area, so we're in the city, and we've got a very different connection with the community and perhaps different community needs. But we have rural areas also, and a rural community has very different needs than a city community. Perhaps they have less resources to tap into, or a greater need, or a closer knit community that the Lions Club can really become that strong partner with. If you talk with another rural club and get ideas of what they're doing, it can help you grow yours. The idea is that each, in the corner you'll see the individual threads. Each of our clubs make an integral part of Lions. But when we start twirling that together and we come together as a stronger rope, again, we're stronger together. We're better together. Next slide, please. As an example, what I've put together is it's a small club in Tucson, the Tanque Verde Valley Club. I will be serving as president this year for the first time. And what I've done is provided just some pictures of different services that we provide, some of our club members, and really where we put our focus. We're highly involved in vision with the alert support, both from a district level on boards, as well as just community support, whether it's eyeglass cleaning, collecting eyeglasses, any of that activity, we're very involved with. We do our work for the environment by collecting our plastic water bottles or plastic bags. But some of our key things that we focus in on are both the diabetes program and pediatric cancer. For diabetes, we've had a school snack basket program where we partner with local schools and provide them healthy snacks for diabetic children. This hits on two sides, not only for the diabetic, but also for any children who have hunger needs. We know that that's an issue throughout Arizona, so this has a two-sided support system to that school. We also run a diabetes awareness Facebook page, so please make sure your clubs go out, find it, 21S, Diabetes Awareness, and we will look forward to seeing your likes and posts and questions. For pediatric cancer, we have a program where we actually partner with another healthcare organization, United Healthcare, in providing for a simple $20, not only a gift for a child with pediatric cancer, but then funds that go to both LCIF and the United Healthcare Children's Health Fund that pays for treatment as well as research. So in one slide, you can see what a small club is doing. And if you have questions, you'll now know who to reach out to. So next slide, please. So here's what I want you to do. Provide me the information on your club. What is the name of your club? When you were chartered? We want to respect these clubs that have been around for decades. You have a history that is absolutely fabulous for those of us who are newer in Lions. Show us pictures of your clubs. What are your key service initiatives? Pictures, pictures, pictures. Send them to me. Here's my email address. You don't have to worry about creating the slide. Depending on how much you send me, you might be a whole newsletter all to yourselves, who knows? But we want to get to know you, and we want you involved. And most importantly, we want 21 South to stand out in this state and in Lions Club overall of showing all the things that we do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary Sheila. This is an exciting way to get to know everybody, and I appreciate you doing this.
Excuse me, District Governor Keith, Charles Moffat, I think, has a question for Lion Sheila. Lion Charles, I'm going to go ahead and I just tried to unmute you, but you're self-muted. You need to unmute yourself, please. Lion Charles, you need to unmute yourself because I can't do it. Please hit your red mute button. The mic, there you go. You're unmuted, sir.
Okay, I think you can hear me now.
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Yeah, I missed a little bit of what Sheila said, but if we do send you these materials and photos and all that, did you say you were going to be able to post them?
Yes. We're going to explore, depending on what kind of feedback I get from everyone, either via email or through a newsletter that we'll put together. We may even be able to do some feature sections in the Canyon Lion. I'm really excited to just start having the information come in and see how best we can promote it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
That was the only one.
All right.
Well, thank you again. Our meetings, the last part of the year and coming into this part, generally are not being done in person. It's neither better or worse. It's just different. It's allowed more people to participate because you don't have to travel, you don't have to get hotels. You can spend more time during service or even at things outside of Lions. One of the drawbacks are the things that we would do outside of the formal sessions in these meetings, be able to talk to people, ask questions that maybe didn't come up during the presentation, or perhaps we thought of later. I'm very happy that you were all comfortable asking questions going along. However, at this time, if there's some questions that you have that weren't answered, or maybe on a different subject, we've got a little bit of time here. I would invite you to ask those questions. I've got a pen here to write these down if I don't know them. I also want to ask some of our cabinet to be standing by. Our vice district governors, our secretary, our treasurer, our past district governor, you may be able to answer some of these questions as well. If you don't have questions, that's okay too, but I want to give you this opportunity. So if you're ready, Brian, if there are some questions out there, we'd be happy to attempt to answer them.
If you have questions, please raise your hands and I'll acknowledge you as quick as I can. Or send them in by writing and Lori Gens will read them out loud. So we're waiting on questions. So far, there are none. So far, Lion Chief, nobody's raising their hand yet. Wait, we have a question. Lion Charles Moffat. I'm going to unmute you. Please ask your question.
Yeah, I just thought I'd say that
for no reason, but I don't want to cut it off if there is a question. So let me give you another minute and
Keith, there is a question. Charles Moffat is speaking. Yes, Lion Charles.
Okay, yeah, I just had a comment and really thank you for all you're doing. You and the rest of the district officers. I did want to mention that there are some places that they do have larger meeting rooms, at least for the small clubs. They can maintain distance, such as the Hungry Fox in Tucson, at Broadway and Swan. There's Biscuits Country Cafe that has a large back room. That's at Kolb and Broadway. There is Sentinel Peak, which is at Swan and Grant. It has a large meeting room. It might be something that the smaller clubs, or maybe if they're only going to be having a smaller number of members, would be comfortable meeting, in person in these spaces. And as I indicated, definitely for the smaller numbers, there's plenty of space to keep apart. And of course, people that are related to related and or regularly communicating with anyway in person, they could always sit together. So I just wanted to mention that, and maybe those are also available. I know, of course, a lot of clubs have their clubhouses, and these are usually have fairly large rooms, and maybe they're already meeting when they can.
Thank you, Lion Charles. Let me add also the GoToMeeting is available to any club that wishes to meet online, and it's a lot of fun and just as effective and safer than right now in-person meeting. I think Lori Gans has a written question to share.
Yes,
Lori.
yes, actually, Lion Richard Stevenson is asking, it just disappeared on me. Okay, there we go. My LCI says there is a server problem when I try to see the district officers. Also, when will this be fixed or the directory be online? I can address the directory issue, the directory question. We're working on it right now. We have most of the information at least formatted and ready to roll out, but we have to wait for all of the club secretaries to finish their reviewing and updating of their membership information and their club meeting information. We've asked them to have that done by August 7th so that on the morning of August 8th, we can download all that information, plug it into the correct areas of the directory, and hopefully have the directory ready to roll out shortly after that. As far as the problem in my LCI, I believe that past District Governor Bobby Ravenkamp and also District Governor Keith have been coordinating with Lions Club International on this issue. So I'm going to ask either of them to please address it.
Thank you. And if you have something to add, please do, Bobby. There are two things that are kind of unfortunate that have happened with us. When the new districts were created, they literally have to be created from scratch at LCI in Illinois. So there's a fair amount of work that has to be done to put that into place. When they were shut down due to the coronavirus pandemic, that also is forcing them to work from home, which has changed. I guess you'd say how easy it is to do that. They're also dealing with a lot of ongoing technical issues because everybody is going online. So I'm not trying to give a blanket excuse for them, but there are some real reasons that have slowed it down, and particularly for a new district that didn't exist. Having said that, though, we have been in contact with them. They've been trying to prioritize what they were able to do. They've got our district administrator in the system so they can now function. We're able to input our zone and region chairs into the system now, even though some of the clubs aren't do them yet. So it's kind of a long drawn out explanation to you, but I wanted to tell you something more than just it's being worked on, but that is also true.
I think Lion Lori's got a couple of more written questions to share.
Yes, actually, there was a comment from Lion Barry Jacobson. Good session, thank you. Also had a comment, 2 comments from Lion Jim Parkins. He wrote, as a zone chair, I am not able to see any clubs other than TNT Lions. I don't know who wants to address that one.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was just mentioning. They've got us updated so we could put in the zone and the region chairs who they are, but it's taken them a while to bring the clubs in where we can sort them. We've only got about 10 clubs that show up as being assigned to a zone chair right now. I don't know the technical reasons or how long it will take, but we are aware of it, and it was 0 clubs and now it's up to 10, so they are making some progress on allowing us to let the zone chairs view those.
I also have a question from Lion Al Hunter. I'm going to bring him up now. Lion Al, you're unmuted.
Hi guys, very good meeting. I just want to let you guys know, as most of you know, I was the multiple district GMT coordinator for the last couple of years, and now I'm the multiple district LEOS coordinator. Through all my reports and everything that most of you have seen, we have several issues as far as membership, and the biggest issue is aging. And the numbers are not good, and they're not moving in a positive direction. I'm going to put together, I actually already started an advocacy group for LEOs, because I think that the best way that we can start to move to get younger is to use the LEOs program and the LEOs, the Lions, and the Omegas. In the past, we've had coordinators that came up with some really good ideas. The problem is that we didn't have the resources, or they didn't have the resources in order to try to get it done. We got 106 clubs trying to do that across the state. It's really difficult. So what I've done is I sent out an email last night. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate more and more people, but this isn't going to be a committee. This is going to be an advocacy group. I got a list of names from the council chair, Barbara, and from my predecessor, Cass, on those people that they know are advocates. I've added a few more onto that. I've added the district and multiple district leadership team. I'm going to get to your multiple district or to your district GMTs and GLTs. Now I know who they are, because again, it's not, my LCI doesn't have that information yet. Okay. Here's what I'm going to be asking. It's essential that for us to turn this membership issue around. All right. And in order to do that, we got to bring in young folks. Chandler did it. We ended up doing a Leo the Lions, and it really served us well. And we're going to continue to promote that. What I like to do is this. I got some ideas floating around. I'm going to be asking a lot of people for their thoughts, but I think it's now time that we take the Leos and the Omegas and the other youth organizations that we have and actually roll them into the district and multiple district membership team, because that's about as important as bringing anybody in, and we need to make sure that we get that focused. So what I'm going to ask you guys is that on the district level, as far as leadership, please make not only the membership a priority, but also your youth, Leos, Omegas as a priority, because we all say that the youth is our future. No, that we're past that. Right now, the youth is our survivor. We can't continue down this road where we've got large numbers. In this case, 59% of our state whose Lions are over 65 years old, and we all know what happens when it comes to filling leadership spots. We depend so much on some of our younger members, because some of our older members just, health reasons or whatever, they just can't maintain the same activity that they used to in the past. So we ask more and more of the younger members of the clubs, and sometimes those members are in their 60s. And then finally, when it comes for the district and multiple district to ask for leadership, to fill leadership positions, we have a very difficult time. District Governor Keith, you know that because you went through that process, and so did everybody else. So what we got to start doing is we got to start bringing in some 20-year-olds and some 30-year-olds. And what that's going to help out a lot too is that with clubs, we need to have a youthful face for the club, so that when people see a club, that's who they see. Because if all they see is 70, 80 years old, it's almost impossible to bring them in. So if we can get these kids early, we can mentor them, we can work with them, and actually not just as Leos, but eventually get them excited about becoming Lions. So I'm going to ask the district to really take this on. I noticed that the district doesn't have a Leos coordinator. I'm going to leave that up to you guys, but I'm putting this advocacy group together. I'm hoping that we got 50 or 60 members of that. We're going to set up a couple of Facebook pages, one for the group itself and the other one that includes the Leo. So we have a continuing conversation with people bringing up ideas to try to figure out how do we make this thing happen. So you will be hearing from me, and you'll be tired of hearing from me, but that's too bad. We're going to try to make this thing work. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Our session is going to expire in not too long here. If there's any other quick questions, this is probably your chance.
I see no more hands yet, and I'm not sure about Lion Lowry, but I've got no hands that are up.
I see no questions that anyone wants answered at the moment.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your attendance today, all of you that are here. I do appreciate it greatly. I appreciate all of you who presented today, who answered questions. Sheila, I appreciate you really organizing and reaching out and scheduling the people for this, putting it together. Lion Brian, gosh, just hours and days and weeks worth of work that you've gone into this, and training those of us who are slow learners, gathering things we didn't even know you were doing until it showed up. We appreciate you making this successful. And also Lori for helping you today with managing the written responses. So to all of you, I appreciate you immensely. I'm looking forward to the year ahead. I'm looking forward to when maybe restrictions are lessened a little bit so I can go out and meet people face to face. By watching this, I'm not real good on screen. I don't know if I'm better in person, but I enjoy being in person. I enjoy being able to see you, shake your hands, and know that you're there. I appreciate that you all want to help your fellow beings, fellow citizens, your neighbors and friends. And as a cabinet, that's what we really want to do, is to be able to help you to do that, not to give you more things to do or tell you what you're doing wrong, but when you have something you'd like to do better or learn, we want to be there to help you. Before we adjourn, I'm going to turn a minute over to our immediate past district governor, Chris Gibbs. Chris, it's yours.
The power of one lion. One lion's smile begins a friendship. One lion's touch can lift a soul. One lion's words of encouragement can inspire service. One lion's words can declare an important goal. One lion's song could spark a heartfelt moment. One lion's passion can ignite a room. One lion's ideas can begin an awesome project. One lion's laughter will conquer gloom. One lion's giggle will start the fun, and one lion's blessed word will begin each prayer. One lion can bring joy and hope for tomorrow. One touch can show a lion cares. One seasoned lion's voice can speak with so much wisdom. That same voice will lead the chant, "We serve." One lion can be the light in the midst of any darkness, and yes, that light will serve the world. One lion's servant heart must and will always ask, "What can I do? What else can I do?" One lion can make a difference, and today that difference starts with you. Today you are the power of one, great, awesome, and powerful lion. Today you are the power of one great, awesome, powerful leader.
Thank you very much. And if there are no objections, we'll now stand adjourned. Thank you.